So what is a CEO? And in the EV world, which CEO is next in line for the chop? I'm Dave. Welcome to Dave Takes It On. So let's have a quick look at what a CEO actually is. It's got various definitions, but it's the top boss who's accountable to a board of directors and they're appointed by shareholders. The CEO has a range of tasks and they are really down to setting strategic objectives and the direction the company is going in, implementing plans, and budgeting and forecasting, then tracking the company performance. Now, the board has a role of monitoring the CEO. So while the CEO has set objectives, the board's primary objective is to monitor the CEO and make sure he or her meets the required performance, and they're also responsible for analysing policies that the CEO sets and then approving those policies and decisions. So these CEOs, many of them are very famous names, people like Henry Ford, Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Tim Cook, Elon Musk. And all of these run multi-billion organisations. But how do we define a multi-billion organisation? Is it the value the company would get if you tried to sell it? Is it the turnover? Is it the profit? These are all valid interpretations of how good a company is, but the one that's used by most people is the market capitalisation. This is simply the number of shares out there times the market price of each share. And what this one shows is the confidence investors have in investing in that stock. Now, when we look at CEOs, we look at very many different styles. So let's start off with General Motors CEO, that's Mary Barra. And she took over as CEO of General Motors in 2014. Straight away in the hot water, was called in to the Senate to account for GM's deaths and injuries caused by a faulty ignition switch. Well, nothing to do with her, but it just shows the company that she took over was already having problems. It was Mary Barra who took the company into the EV world with the launch of the Chevy Bolt a couple of years later. And this was a cheap, mass-produced small family car. It did only ever sell about 190,000 cars, ever, and they were costing around $32,000 when it was discontinued. Or was it? That discontinue notice was then repealed, and she's now announced a new Bolt for 2024. The reason it was discontinued was because it was old technology, old-fashioned. It couldn't really go any further and compete in a modern world. So it was a logical step. But just to discontinue it was not a good move. What was needed was a refresh. Oh, we've seen one of them recently with Tesla and the Model 3. So we're getting mixed messages out of General Motors. The market capitalisation is $49 billion. So it seems that all the EVs that they're producing now, with the exception of the Chevy Bolt, are a bit of a flop. The Hummer, total of 3,200 sales. Cadillac Lyriq, one of their flagships, 9,000 sales. Chevrolet Bolt last year, 62,000 sales. The Blazer new model launch in 2023 was 482 sold, and the total for last year was 75,883. Now, just to put that into context, Tesla in the last quarter was selling an average of 37,000 a week. So General Motors' total annual production was 2 weeks of Tesla's production. So General Motors seems to be heading backwards, not forwards. Now, the next CEO we're looking at is Jim Farley, CEO of Ford. And he took over 4 years ago now, in 2020. And his primary role, as it was set down in writing, is focused on transforming Ford to lead the digital and electric revolution in the automotive industry through the development of the ambitious customer-focused Ford Plus plan. And that plan includes a focus on innovation and delivery of breakthrough electric vehicles at scale, along with development of software and connected vehicle technologies and services across all Ford motors. Ford market capitalization is $45 billion. And Ford last year, in Q4, sold a total of 25,937 EVs. So that is less than a single week's production of Tesla. So far from leading, that's actually quite a failure. Well, forget Tesla. Ford no longer has second place in the US EV manufacturing or sales markets, a position he bragged about only a month ago. Seems he's dropping down the list rapidly. Well, Stellantis appointed a new CEO, Carlos Tavares, and he helped actually form Stellantis in 2021 and instantly became their CEO. The market capitalization is $67 billion. Now, Stellantis is a huge group of companies that were all brought together under one umbrella, and they include companies like Abarth, Alfa Romeo, Chrysler, Citroën, Dodge, DS, Fiat, Jeep, Lancia, Maserati, Opel, Peugeot, Ram, Vauxhall, and that's not all of them. Now, initially, Stellantis started emitting pleas for governments all around the world to cancel EVs. But, on second thoughts, they set off on a better trajectory, and they're now reaping the rewards, and they're going ahead really impressively. They have massive, impressive targets and growth achievements. Now, it's actually difficult to say exactly how many they sold because the figures are not out yet. They won't be out till February 2024. But all of the figures are expressed as a percentage increase, and they all look really, really promising. So I can't wait to see the February 2024 final results for the year of 2023. They will not threaten even Ford, in my opinion. But we'll see. Now, RJ Scaringe is the new CEO of Rivian. He actually took over only in November, 2 months ago, but he'd been with Rivian right from the very beginning. And Rivian began with a capital investment of about $13.5 billion, and they're now today starting at last to exceed targets and growth. Rivian, the RS1, the RT1, they actually outsold Ford F150 Lightning in 2023, the whole year. So Rivian are very much on the up. The market capitalization is at $18 billion, and they sold a record 17,541 EVs last year. But again, this is less than half in a year what Tesla's sell in a week. So let's look at Tesla. In 2008, Elon Musk took over. It was a fledgling startup company, and he came in and strong-armed his way into control. Took full responsibility for setting direction, invested $6.5 billion of his own money, adding to $1 billion raised elsewhere. So very different approaches and directions. But why did he set off with the Roadster EV? See, one of the problems, unlike all the other CEOs, Tesla just did not have enough money to build a mass market car from day one. Ford, General Motors, Stellantis definitely did. They chose not to use it, but they had the money. Rivian, they possibly did have enough, but that was still touch and go. Tesla definitely did not, had nowhere near enough money. So he had no choice. So his strategy was, let's get the money. Let's build a sports car. We'll sell that. It's a luxury sports car at a premium price. And we'll use the money that we make, the profit that we make from that, to build a more affordable car. That car, the Model S, was then used instantly a success, to produce profit, to build an even more affordable car. That car was the Model 3. That led very quickly to the Model Y. So Tesla had no choice in how they grew to be where they were today. Their market capitalization is unlike the others, which are in the tens of billions of dollars. Tesla's $695 billion. So totally different league altogether. So all that's happened, the legacy auto CEOs have taken a massive market capitalization and squandered it, while Tesla has started from virtually nothing personal money and prospered. So let's have a look at who's in and who's out of the CEOs involved in EVs in 2024. So Tesla's Elon Musk, he looks pretty secure. There's no immediate worries there. Well, long term there definitely is. He's less secure, as he has a load of other interests, like SpaceX, like the Boring Company, and dozens of other smaller ones. And my prediction is the day the first rocket takes off with people on board for Mars to form a colony there, expect him to be on the waiting list for one of the future rockets. AJ Scaringe, he looks very secure also. Very impressive figures. They're not all down to him, but they are partially. And of course, he's only just been appointed CEO. The figures are up, the profits are up, breaking records. So I would say that Rivian and AJ Scaringe pretty secure for the future. Tavares, well, also very newly appointed, very impressive growth since he took over just a couple of years ago, and a lot of that is down to him. So he looks very secure, figures looking good, sales looking good, percentages growing. I wouldn't have any worries if I was him. Now, Jim Farley and Mary Barra, biggest failures in history of EVs. Both of them had a huge advantage. Ford had a shed load of money that they could have invested in EVs. Mary Barra already had what was potentially a mass market EV on the market and on the road. That's the Chevy Bolt. But both of them have squandered their advantages, and they're now producing dismal and embarrassing results. Mary Barra, once criticised by Trump, now loved by Biden because of the union connection, she is seriously out of favour. I cannot see her lasting through 2024. Jim Farley has failed big time. As the supposed setter of future growth and policies, he has taken a seriously wrong turn. He might just last the year, but he will not lead Ford into the EV future. I'm Dave.
Well, thanks very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please click the like button. And if you'd like to see more, please subscribe and click the notification bell so we can notify you next time we launch a video. And a massive thank you to all our Patreon supporters. It is your support that enables us to go out and make these videos for you. So thank you very much for your contribution. I'm Dave.